Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. James here as ever for today's video all about is accounting hard? Whew. Now I'm sure if you've clicked on this video you're first of all going, oh, in my eyes it definitely is, but who is this chap who's now talking to me on YouTube? Well, hello, my name is James. I'm an ACCA qualified accountant from the UK, and on my channel I help out accounting students and professionals around the world share my experience and insights. Hence for today's video, to actually debunk some of these accounting myths that I hear from my students and from people who leave me comments, so feel free to pop any down there if you've got any questions throughout the video. I answer them all, more than happy to help. And just so we're crystal clear so that you know, oh, is he actually really an accountant telling me about if it's hard or not? Well, look up here. I mean, 2017 when I qualified with my certificate, same sort of hair and the usual sort of shirts as well. So there you go. Welcome to my world and welcome to the channel. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, make sure you subscribe at the bottom so you get access to all of my free resources and you're notified of all the usual updates and that sort of jazz. But we now have to get onto that key sort of question because you probably had a look online and a few other areas, and it's finally led to this video to answer all of your worries. So now when I started learning about accounting, did I think it was hard or sort of what sort of insights can I share for you? Well, I first started when I was doing it at university. I hadn't got any experience of it before. Well, I'll be honest with you, when I first started learning about accounting, I just couldn't seem to work out how all the sort of pieces of the puzzle sort of fitted all together. And when you actually have all these accounting terms and you start off with the sort of bits of debits and credits, and then you're going on to the sort of revenue and costing, then it gets on to being more complicated. It really felt like feeling of that sort of aspect of trying to understand a foreign language. When you've got some of those little nuggets of information, you can sort of make a small bit of conversation, should I say, but you don't understand it all. So you can say, oh, bonjour, ça va, merci, but then you go, oh, I'm not sure about how to ask for the spaghetti, maybe, but if you're at a restaurant. Well, that's the sort of way I thought about it at the start, where I kind of get bits, but overall, it was very hard at the start. And now from my experience and from all the videos and the insights I share, I really wanted to do this video because you've probably heard from your research about accounting that it's both an art as well as a science. But what does that actually mean? Because anyone who's never done accounting or not got anyone to properly talk about this to, well, what does that even, how do I put that together? Well, in terms of accounting being an art, this is the reason for it as to, well, we actually have to record and classify and summarise the financial transactions within an organisation or for clients, understanding all of the variety of different aspects that would go into the annual reports and the financial statements, should I say, and going concern of that business. So we'd also be looking into the cash flow, the profitability, all those sort of aspects. But this is where, as an accountant and the sort of art form of it, there are professional judgments that a qualifying or trainee accountant would have to make. So that could be in the form of actual depreciation methods as you go through it, and then how do we actually classify some transactions based on the rules and regulations on there. But try to think about it from a bigger picture now and start to actually apply it to companies that you are particularly interested in. So if you like Apple, for example, or Tesla, or Microsoft, but take Apple on there, about just trying to picture the total amount of revenue that Apple generate over the year from all the computers they sell to all the phones and everything else. But then you've got to think, well, okay, from that Apple example on there, you've got to then say, well, how is it an actual science in accounting? Well, this is where you actually have structured knowledge based on certain basic principles and accounting standards, such as the IFRS, also known as the International Financial Reporting Standards. So this is where I certainly got confused in the start of my accounting career, and when I was just learning the basics, I go, oh my word, how does this all sort of fit together? So the fundamentals, yes, there are the basics on there, such as double entry bookkeeping, so all your debits and credits. You've then got your income statement, so your profit and loss account. Are we making any money? Are we losing it? You then got your balance sheet, where all your assets are equal to your equity plus your liabilities. Who owns the business? How is it funded? What assets have we got to generate economic activity? And then finally, you've also got the cash flow statement, where you've got all your operating activities, financing and investing activities on there. So these are the sort of bread and butter things, but then putting it all together, it's then once you actually start to understand them, and then that's where all the sort of pieces of the puzzle start to fit together. And then this is the key thing that I want you to take away from this video. It does take time. And you will have to put in the time, I'm afraid. You could be starting off, you might be in your first year at university, or you're doing an accounting class at school or college, whatever it may be. It's going to be the textbook, going through videos, going to classes, but the key thing, it happens to every single accounting student I've ever taught when I was in that position, you will have that moment where it just starts to click like that. That was a terrible click. There we go, bit better. All for the video. And that could be for a month or two on there. For me personally, when I first started studying at university, it was easily 6 months from having literally no accounting experience, never done any debits and credits, but it's completely different for everyone. It's just to give you a ballpark that you may be 1 or 2 months and you've got your textbooks and you're going through it and going, oh my word, I'm really not getting any of this accounting. Well, I was in that position. I still had another 4 months to go down the line before I started to really put it all together. So do not lose hope on it. So like I said, you're probably watching this video asking yourself to me right now and saying, is accounting actually right for me? This is one of the key questions. Or maybe you're currently studying accounting at school or university and worrying, should I actually carry on or not on here? And as we said, it will take time. It comes through trial and error, putting in the time, the hours. The key thing that you need to ask yourself whilst you're watching this video or maybe listening to it away is understanding your reason why. Your why. That is the key thing. So ask yourself, write it down, why do I want to actually get into accounting? So for me, just to share my sort of experience on this, it was always because I wanted to develop my business knowledge that I covered at school, so really interested in business studies, economics, and from my research as well, the majority of businesses fail due to poor cash flow, low profitability, and not understanding the fundamentals of accounting if you want to set up your own business on there. Plus as well, and I'll put the link at the bottom here, really interesting to go have a look, but if you want to go work at some of the FTSE 100 biggest companies and the board of directors there, over 50% of them have actually got, I think it's 51%, we'll be specific, actually have a background in finance, and a fifth or 1 in 5 have actually become qualified accountants. So it's that demonstrating of knowledge that can be applied in so many different areas that if you wanted to set up your own business, go and work for a firm, whatever it may be, these are the fundamentals that I was really interested in, and that was my why. But at the end of the day, you can always just give it a try. That's the main thing. And if it's not for you, then maybe just try something else on there that you are actually interested in. But the key skills and competencies that you'll pick up, even little nuggets of information like how to budget on there, or what about finances in your own personal life, this can help transform your own world, because these are the fundamentals that I'd have wished I'd have known when I was first starting out, and I now take that knowledge and apply it to my own world as well. But what I'm presuming as well is maybe a family member or a friend was maybe an accountant in your life, and then maybe they've told you it's a good career. Well, that's okay. That happens to loads of people. But be aware though that there are lots of examinations, and this is one of the things that we just need to draw it back now, that yes, you may be starting off in your accounting career, but down the line there'll be lots of examinations. So in ACCA, that I'm a qualified member of, there are 13 in total there. If you go on and do the ACA qualification, there are 15 in that you'll need to complete in order to actually say to yourself you are a qualified accountant. So along with gaining the actual relevant work experience, so working within an actual particular role at a qualifying employer, and then also having all your ethical standards signed off. So you will be in it, that's the key thing, for the long haul. You might actually have to also go into a study contract. So maybe if you don't know what a study contract is, feel free to check it out on the channel as well. Those are seriously important things for you to understand, that you'll go work for an employer, they'll pay for your studies, and then there are financial implications with that. But overall, in my opinion, the actual skills and knowledge that you'll actually develop from undertaking accounting classes, yes, they will be hard, but in the long run, they will definitely benefit yourself as an individual, your family, your actual working environment and life, and you can make better life financial decisions. So to conclude on that, is accounting hard? In a nutshell, yes it is, but it is something that you can definitely overcome. It's not a massive mountain, you will just be climbing it step by step and you will get to the summit. Trust me on that, okay? But if you've got any other questions or you'd like my opinion on anything, or if you've got any videos you'd like to request, make sure you leave a comment below. I answer them all and I'm more than happy to help. If you have found the insights in the video helpful, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and like so that more accounting students and people who are interested in accounting can see this content. And if you know someone who this video is going to help, just share it with them. It could be that little nugget of information to give them that little boost ahead of their exam to not give up, keep going, keep persevering, and keep at it, because it could be the difference in getting those extra couple of marks to pass their exam. And whilst you're here as well, make sure you subscribe and hit the button below so you get access to all my free videos and new updates and you don't miss out on absolutely anything. Well, the final thing I can say is best of luck with your accounting journey. Feel free to follow mine on YouTube, on the channel. More than happy to help with more insights. If you've got an exam, good luck with it as well. But what I've done for you as a final treat is I've left a couple of other videos at the end here that will definitely help from my experience, that could be that nugget of information to help your career or pass your next exam. But as ever, on that bombshell, I'll see you next time. Cheers!